Interesting. Hey, my lovely peoples, it's your main man Solace here, the humble servant of the life. I was just reading the Sperm is the Spirit book. Very good book. I'm so glad I bought it. Now, I want to do this video called Why is God Always Threatening People? Part 3. Now, hopefully, y'all have all seen the first two. Now, I'll say again as I did in the first two. Certain people have a conscious intellect that is deeper than others. And they understand that God and the devil is just a battle within self of all living beings. It is the battle between the worldly desires that the physical body craves versus the principles and morals of the spirit. The spirit is binded to the principles and moralities of the life. The physical body craves the physical desires. So we are all battling with this on a daily basis. And wise men grasp that this is truly what God and the devil is. Now I want to do this video today breaking down something on the Moses story. Because a lot of people read the Bible when they read these stories, but they don't read it in reality time. They just read it. So I want to break down something to y'all. Now, we all know Moses believed he was an Egyptian, and he was raised up amongst the ruling class. Then when he became an adult, he found out that he was truly from the working class. He was truly a Hebrew, the slave class of the economy. So you have to grasp what kind of effect this would have on a person. Being amongst the wealthy and then realizing you are truly one of the workers. So now the wealthy ruling class begins to look at Moses funny also. Because we all know how shaky people can be. So now the Bible says Moses, after dealing with that for some time, he decides to go out to the land and actually see the people and see how they're living. Now when he does this, he sees the Egyptian soldier assaulting one of the Hebrews. So he intervenes and kills the Egyptian, and he buries him in the sand, figuring no one to see. So you know how people kill people today and try to hide it. So then the next day he came out to the land, and he seen two of the Hebrews fighting. So he went to intervene with that, and one of the Hebrews said, "Oh, what you gonna do? Kill me like you did the Egyptian?" So he knew then that word got around the town that he bodied the Egyptian. Mind you, the Egyptians know he's a Hebrew now. So this ain't good for him. He like, oh shit, I done fucked up. So now he runs. The Bible says this. He ran for 40 years. Met a new wife, had kids, became a shepherd. Now we all know a shepherd is basically a farmer. So he wasn't a poor man. Moved on with his life. And he was living well. Had a wife, moved on with his life. But it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Because when he killed the Egyptian, it says in the Bible, Pharaoh put his foot on the people's neck, the Hebrew's neck, even harder than before. So he made things worse for them now, being as though Moses bodied an Egyptian and ran. So now the Pharaoh oppressed the Hebrews more than they were prior to Moses doing what he did. So now you have to grasp how deep that is. His mother is a Hebrew. His sister is a Hebrew. He has a relationship with these people. He don't have a relationship with the actual Hebrews, but he got a relationship with his actual direct Hebrew family. So now you have to think of the effect that that would play on a person's mind. You're living good with your new family, and you abandoned your old family and you just left them. After you basically started a war and you left, knowing that these people were in no place to fight back. And you left them after you started this crazy thing. So it's a deep thing. His mind started fucking with him. So now the Hebrew God appears to him. and tells him to go free the people. Now, this is where it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Because Moses didn't know he was a Hebrew. So he didn't have no Hebrew God. He didn't have no God. The ruling class did not believe in the religion. That was for the slaves. The ruling class knew what was what. So Moses didn't believe in religion. He understood the balance of life and self and so on and so forth. Now, his new wife, she believed in whatever God her peoples had. And the Hebrews had whatever God they had. And he understood people, mainly the working class of peoples, the poor, all had gods. So he knew this. So now you have to grasp, when the Hebrew God comes speaks to him, Moses has no God. So who came and spoke to him? So you have to grasp how deep this is. That was Moses' God, his higher God self, how I broke down in the beginning, the balance between God and the devil is really within self. Well, when he left his people like that, that was his lower self. That's your Satan. You just worry about yourself. You like, fuck all that. But he couldn't go on no more in his Satan because he knew, even though I'm not doing anything to anyone, I put people in danger. I did something crazy. So now his God self, that lives by moral and principality, is fucking with him now. Like, yo, you need to go back and get your people. Now, we all experience this. If you do some shit wrong to a nigga that you fuck with, that should start to play on your mind like, damn, I was fucked up for doing that. Now, imagine if you leave your own mother and sister as a slave somewhere while you living good. Start playing on your mind like, oh, that's when your principles and morality kick in. Like, yo, I gotta do something. But the Bible said the Hebrew God came to him because it was the message. You need to go help them people that you abandoned. Who was the people? The Hebrews. Who do they believe in? Their God. So he had to come in the name of that for them to even pay him any mind. Mind you, he a wise man. He know what's what. So you have to grasp what you're reading. He ran for 40 years. It started fucking with him. So now he had to go back and make good of the things, or he wouldn't be able to go on with his life. Can't you live like that? Your mind playing tricks on you? You keep thinking about the people you abandoned? So now he goes back. He gets the people in the name of their God, and he frees them. But he has nowhere to take them. You have to grasp how deep this is. He's just figuring if I go and get them out of that land, then they're fine now and they can build themselves up. But now when you free them, they're deeply into religion. And they're mad at you because they're like, we didn't know we were slaves, so what the fuck are you doing? You got us in the desert, we starving. This is a stupid plan. Like, so they fucking with him because they don't know what's going on. They believe in gods and all this dumb stuff. He understand what's up. He know they slaves. He coming from the ruling class. They don't even realize they slaves like the people of today. So it's a deep thing. So now when he brings them out of the land, they looking at it, he telling them, yo, y'all could build up your own life now and not be slaves. But they don't grasp. So in their mind, they like, what is he talking about? We would be eating right now. We could work to eat. You got us in a position where we can't even work to get nothing. There ain't nothing out here in the desert. So they ready to go back to Egypt. But no, Moses, no. It's fucked up now. I can't even let them go back because they going to kill them if they go back. Because I done brought all these afflictions on the Egyptian people to free them. So now they can't even go back. So now Moses stuck with them. And this is how deep it is. He can't abandon the people because you started all of this. You could have just left well enough alone. But his morality wouldn't let him. Now when he get there and do what he do, he realized, oh my God, I just made shit worse. Because now they can't even go back and they don't want to do nothing for themselves. They'd rather be slaves. So now after time and time of him dealing with them in that, he has to go because they believe in gods and all this crazy shit. So then it tells you he went into the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights and dwelt with God. And this is when he got the 10 commandments. But you have to understand, this was him going into the mountain, separating himself from all the people and the confusion to be with self. So he could balance out his God and his devil state. Because at this time point, he's ready to abandon them and leave them in the desert and just say, fuck them. They stupid. It's nothing I could do with these people. But he know, okay, my morals is not going to let me live like this. I already know that. So now he got to go in the mountain to be alone with self. To really balance out. Like, what am I going to do? And this is when he came out with the 10 Commandments for the people. So that they could understand. Listen, man, y'all have to live by a certain law of conduct. Because the way y'all moving now, y'all just do anything and y'all believe in anything. Y'all believe in stuff that ain't even alive. Golden calves and shit. What's wrong with y'all? So he brings them law. Listen, man, follow this. This is from your God. Because you know that's all they believe in. But when he comes out of the mountain, he sees them acting a goddamn fool. Worshipping golden calves and all this dumb stuff. They're taking their precious resources that they could use to build themselves up a new city. They're using it to melt it down to make a big-ass gold calf so they can stand in front of it and worship it. So he's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with them? See, when y'all read the Bible, y'all don't read it in real time. You have to read it in reality. Like, okay, why was he so frustrated with them? Because of over a golden calf. Because you need the gold as your wealth. And y'all unmade this. Y'all basically took the money and melted it down into nothing. So y'all could sit in front of it and pray to it. So when he seen that, he lost his mind and killed one of them. Then he had to go back to the mountain because he like, oh my God, they just bringing the Satan out of me because they so lost. So now he got to go back in the mountain and have time with self again. This is when he comes back out with the 10 Commandments again. So y'all have to grasp how deep this is. The Bible is not telling y'all that there's a God in Satan. Whoever wrote the Bible understood the duality of the life. They were not into religion. So whoever wrote the Bible wasn't a religious person. They were writing about the history of religious people. So sometimes when they say God and devil, they're not always talking about what the person in the book believed in. The book don't tell you Moses believed in God. It tells you that he freed the people in the name of their God, which was El, the Hebrew God. He was a Hebrew also, but you have to understand, he didn't know he was a Hebrew. So when did he get time to believe in a Hebrew God? So this is how you know when I'm breaking this down to you, Moses didn't have a religion. Grasp that. You lived your whole life in truth with the wealthy. You don't believe in a Hebrew God. That was a joke. They're the lowest of the earth. This is why when they put the crown on Jesus' head and they put he the king of the Jews. Because the Jews was the poorest people in life. So to say you the king of the bums is funny. Niggas is laughing at these people like, these niggas is stupid. So when Moses is like, he with the ruling class and Hebrew gods, to him that's bum talk, dumb shit. Remember, he lived his whole life with the ruling class. He don't know none of the Hebrew people cultures or their ways or none of that. And he never got to because he ran and went and got him a wife that wasn't even a Hebrew. She was something else. So she had a whole different God. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. He never believed in the Hebrew God. Ever. He never got a chance to. But he knew that's what they believed in, so he had to do what he had to do in their name. When you have an understanding of the duality of life and you know there is no God and devil, this is all a within self thing for everybody, and the life is all, and a person believe in this thing or that thing, well, you can, it's just like y'all when I break down the Bible. I can teach you through what you believe in. I just don't choose to, because what's the point? When you can learn what you believe in really come from, which is the life. It's just like ancient Kemetic. I teach that. Because everything y'all believe in comes from the life. It's just been altered into what you believe in. I understand the life. So whatever y'all believe in, I understand it too. Just like the people that wrote what y'all believed in. They don't believe in what they wrote. They writing about the people. It's history. So you have to grasp. The book can't say there's no such thing as God and the devil. The book ain't never told you it was. The author of the book never told you it was. Somebody else told you that, and you never actually read the book. So this is why you like, nah, what is Silas talking about? I'm talking real life. The book is talking real life. You have no perspective because you was told this book came from God, so you just read it that way, as opposed to reading it like you do any other book so you can get an understanding. The book is telling y'all people were lost in religion, in gods, and this was blocking them from truth and understanding of the life. And this is why the Bible speaks of a whole bunch of killing. Because when people are lost in religion, as you see today, they lose their mind and they are filled with anger and they kill. Because the religion oppresses you. And it makes you believe that when you die, you'll get your glory. So you live your whole life truly mad because you're like, man, I'm so tired of not being free, but I'm just wait till I die and be good. So this just builds you up with hate and anger. And this is why when someone like me speaks against your religion, you get mad. You're not mad at me, you're mad at the religion. But you're like, I just got to believe this thing, and it's okay. But it's blocking you just like the people that were written about in the book. You have to grasp, when the book started, there was no religion. Grasp how deep that is. In the beginning, it was the darkness and the void and blah, blah, blah. There was no religion. When Adam and Eve part came, there was no religion. Religion didn't come till later. Grasp that. And you know what I mean when I say religion, meaning the Philistines had their own God. The Hebrews had their own God. Everybody had their own God. But in the beginnings, you don't hear nothing about people having their own gods. So you have to realize at some point the book breaks down to you, God or worshiping of the life became a whole bunch of different gods. Worshiping the life became a whole bunch of different gods to whoever the people was where they was. Once the multitudes became on the earth, according to the book, that's when the book started talking about gods, meaning the Philistines had their own God and he was fighting in the name of his God and so on and so forth. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Men been believing in religions and things of this nature since Nimrod days. Before that. So you have to grasp how far in time we are in, where men are still lost. It's a deep thing I'm trying to get y'all to grasp. I'm not trying to get you upset with me or at the religion, because the religion ain't making you believe in it. The religion ain't telling you nothing. The pastor is. Your parents are. This thing is. That thing is. But none of these things wrote the book. And the person that wrote the book didn't believe in religion because they was a part of the ruling class. This is how they were able to write the book. Do y'all know what an ancient scribe is? Somebody that's right close next to the king and writes down whatever the king or ruler of the time said. And scribes wrote these things, meaning they didn't believe in this shit. They're just documenting the history. So it's like if a man documents the history now, he gonna say the Muslims had their God, those over in the Middle East, they had their God Allah, and those in the West and the Americas had their God Jesus, and everybody had their God. The Hindus had Shiva, etc., etc. No different than the past. They all had the same thing, a whole bunch of different gods. Mind you, the life is all. Why can't people grasp that? Even in ancient Kemetic writings, Tahuti or Thoth. Thoth said exactly what I said. He believed in the life, the all. He didn't believe in no goddamn gods and all this dumb stuff. He wrote for people to grasp. Turn what a man writes to whatever you want. But if you read about Thoth in the Halls of Amenti, which is basically the duat, in the 12 or 7 gates of the duat, or however many gates it was, that's what the Halls of Amenti is. He's breaking that down. And he speaks on the all. He ain't talking about no gods and religions. When Thoth speaking, and they said he was the smartest person ever. He was a scientist, a goddamn physician. He supposedly fixed he fixed Orsaw's eyeball. Who eyeball did he fix? I forgot. Orsaw's son. I be forgetting. It's so all these stupid stories. It's not the stories that I'm getting conflicted on. It's the names, because I know the stories in all the different nations that tell it. These are all the same stories. The Greeks have the same story, but they just got different names, like Thor and Odin. That shit is Orsa, Orset, Seti. I forgot the son name. But anyway, y'all know if you a comedic follower, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Thor Tahuti was the smartest motherfucker on the planet. He was everything. He was fixing niggas' eyeballs back and all type of shit. So it's a deep thing y'all gotta grasp. They even speak about this shit in the Numa Lish. Now, he didn't believe in that. Lord Enki and them ain't believe in no goddamn religion and gods. So it's a deep thing we gotta grasp, man. The lower class believes in the goddamn higher class. Y'all believe in the government. That's who y'all gods are. The government. The ruling class. And they don't believe in nothing y'all believe in. But they influence y'all to believe in what y'all believe in, because what y'all believe in is them. And this is why they are the ruling class and you niggas are at the bottom. It's your main man, Solace.